SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 8 in the NFL, and we're talking right now with Scott Kellen from 6centsports.com, who has a great record, 8-4 against the spread in NFL videos with us, and that's not surprising at all. He has a great reputation and a great track record, a long-term handicapping NFL. Scott, thanks for being back with us this week.
Hey, not a problem. Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right, before we get into Pitt, Oakland, brag for about 15 seconds about your site, 6centsports.com. I assume you're having a good year?
Yeah, I mean, we're okay. We're a little bit over 500. Had a nice week last week, 5-2. There's been, 7 weeks now, so we've had 4 winning weeks of, I think we were 3-1, 4-2, 5-2, 3-2, so some good weeks in there. 9 out of 11 winning years, so they can go to the website, 6centsports.com, all spelled out, and take a look at our record. We're very transparent from that standpoint. We put the picks up 30 minutes after the games kick off, so you can easily see who we've had every game, and like I said, we're fully transparent, long-term winners, and we're having a good year this year in terms of 4+ weeks. So if you got any questions, shoot us an email. We'll be happy to answer anything you have. And we've got 4-week packages and the rest of the season packages, so hopefully something that will fit your bill as well.
Right now we're going to discuss Pitt, Oakland. I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about this. I feel like I personally had a very good read on Pittsburgh this year. I was fading him early on. Then they've won 2 games in a row, and I kind of was leaning towards them both of those games. So they have made some improvements, most notably on defense. Here, though, I'm actually thinking about going on Oakland plus 2.5 at home. Oakland, of course, is off of a bye. The only thing that makes me very nervous about this is, Oakland's offensive line. They're having a ton of injury issues on the offensive line, and we saw what happened against Kansas City. Terrell Pryor sacked 9 times. 9 times. That's unacceptable in the NFL. So it makes me very nervous to bet on a team, that has that kind of issues on the offensive line. But, maybe with the bye, they were able to fix them. I'm leaning Oakland, but I want to get some reinforcement from you before I bet them. Is that what you like here?
I do, and it's good to hear that if you've had a good read on Pittsburgh and you're going against them, then I feel even a little bit better about that. But yeah, I like Oakland in this spot, and I had Oakland. I've gone against Kansas City the last 2 weeks, actually, with Houston last week, and I had Oakland the week before at KC. They outgained them in that game, 3.9 yards to play to 3.5 yards to play. Really controlled that game until, as you said, they had offensive line problems going into that game, and then they lost 2 offensive linemen, including their second-string center in that game, and all hell broke loose. And actually, sitting at the sportsbook in Vegas, I was sitting next to a guy, and I said, at the end of that game, I felt better when Kansas City had the ball because they weren't going to score because Oakland was going backwards every time they had the ball there in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was horrible. But I think, if their line wasn't got messed up in that game, I think they would have held much closer in that game and actually were in that game until the end when Pryor threw 3 really bad picks. And obviously that's a little bit of concern if he would do that again. But he really hasn't done that this year. So I have confidence, and it looks like Winooski was back today at center, so I think he'll be back. I don't know if any of the other guys will get back, but that's obviously a key piece of the ingredients there with the center and calling all the calls for the offensive line. So I think they'll be better from that standpoint. And as you said, Pittsburgh's won a couple games here, but and there's nothing fluky about their wins. They for the most part, controlled those games that they won against the Jets in Baltimore, so they are playing better. But these teams are pretty evenly matched when I look at it. Offensively, Oakland's a little bit behind average, but if you throw out the Matt Flynn game against Washington, which you can't really count, they're about average in offense, which is really where Pittsburgh lines up. And defensively, both these teams are a little bit above average defensively as well. And Oakland has played really well on defense this year. And Pittsburgh's got their own offensive line problems. And I think facing a good defensive team like Oakland will have its own issues for Pittsburgh as well. So I've got some good rushing situations on this game, including one that played on the Colts last week. It played on Buffalo against Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. It was on Oakland against San Diego 3 weeks ago. Traditionally, it has been very, very strong for me. And we've done some of these podcasts over the last few weeks, and you've questioned some of my calls. And one thing I'll say is when this situation pops, I just play it because it's so good. And it's popping again this week with Oakland. So I can't ignore that. And I look at a variety of different sets of power ratings. And when I look at those power ratings, I make this game anywhere from a pick-em to actually Oakland being a slight favorite. So I think there's some value in this game. We've got good situations backing it up. They are coming off a bye, although ironically I think they've lost 9 years in a row off a bye. So I don't know what that means for Oakland. But I don't think it can really hurt them for the most part. I just think you've got two pretty evenly matched teams. You're getting points at home. You've got a quarterback in Terrell Pryor, who I think can be a little bit of a difference maker. And if they can solidify that offensive line a little bit, I think Oakland has every chance here. They actually beat Pittsburgh last year as a home underdog, 3.5-point home underdog, won by 3. And looking back, you'd have to go all the way back to 2003, the last time Pittsburgh has actually defeated Oakland. So a few years ago, Oakland went into Pittsburgh as 15-point dogs and beat them, and they've won it once or twice before that at home in Oakland as home dogs as well. So they seem to, for whatever reason, maybe match up okay with Pittsburgh. I just think that the value lines with the Raiders and some positive situations in their favor, I think Oakland's the play here.
Okay, Oakland plus 2.5 it is. Thanks so much. Scott Kellen from 6centsports.com. Talk to you again next week.